live from, if you can't tell, Savannah, Georgia.
That was crazy.
That was wild.
Do you want to explain what that?
I just ate lunch. No, sorry. No, we're at the Savannah Convention Center here in Savannah, Georgia, and right out, like, how many feet? 2 football fields away. This giant cargo ship is going down the river, and he was honking his horn. I'm guessing a boat got in his way or something.
I think this is the most beautiful setting for a conference I've ever been to.
Agree.
We are right on the river. We're looking across the river to Savannah. There's a giant cargo ship in between us. It's just beautiful.
This is, I'm going to say it right, GAMEIS Conference. GAMEIS.
GAMEIS.
Yeah, this is super cool. Beautiful conference center, beautiful town. David from NTP is here.
Of course he is.
Zach is here as well.
Zach
Shout out
is here.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach is here as well. I'm just totally distracted by this cargo ship. This is crazy. So yeah, we were invited to come down here, give a presentation. We did our talk this morning, the 10 lessons learned from our ransomware interviews, which is always such a fun conversation. Mm-hmm. I love giving that presentation. It's fun. Yeah. So we're going to be here today and tomorrow recording interviews with individuals that are big movers and shakers and players in the ed tech realm in Georgia. Do we want to drop a hint on who we just met a little bit ago?
Yeah. So, we have K12 Tech Pro, and then we help out over at K12sysadmin, the subreddit. And one of the OGs, or I guess the OG of K12sysadmin is around here and is from Georgia. So we're hoping he's going to stop back by. I won't say who that is in case he doesn't come. So we'll see.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm excited for the food and drink here. Some good food.
Shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits last night. That stick to your bones kind of food right there.
It's a little warm outside too.
Oh my gosh. I've had the summer of heat. I was in Phoenix a couple weeks ago, 113 degrees. Mm-hmm. Horrible. It's not that hot here, but the humidity is way worse.
Ate a bunch of meat. Got the meat heats.
What?
He started sweating from eating meat.
No, that's the meat sweat, not the meat heats.
We should stop before this gets.
Hey, let's talk about during our presentation. Josh, you talked about a dog peeing on a
light post,
and Mark said a light bulb, like dogs going around peeing on light bulbs.
I don't know what happens in Missouri. It's a weird place. Dogs
so the whole room had this weird look on their faces.
And then it ended up on K12 Tech Pro.
Yeah, someone already did an AI image of a dog peeing on a light bulb.
That's what happens in Josh's town.
Yes, exactly. All right, we'll be back with hopefully better content, less honking of horns and inappropriate jokes. We'll be back.
All right, Mark, I'm hanging out with Rusty Boone. Rusty, you are from McIntosh County, is that correct?
That is.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your school district. How many kids, how many staff, that kind of thing?
So we're a smaller school district on the coast of Georgia. If you look at Savannah, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, we are right in the middle on the map on the coast. We've got 1,400 students and a little over 200 staff.
Cool. And then what is your position title there?
So I am the technology director, CIO for the county.
Then how many years have you been at this school?
I have been the CIO for 6+ years at this point. I actually worked for the school about 17 years ago and then left and then came back as the technology director, did a lot of contract work for the school in between there.
Nice. Cool. So we were talking about, because GAMEIS gave us like a list of folks, and you made this list, and you sat down and you're like, I don't know why they sent me here, but it sounds like there's two particular things, and maybe why you're here. The first is how you deal with devices. You might have a kind of unique rotation plan or replacement cycle bit that you do. Would you share that with us?
Yeah, sure. So as you know, most everyone knows, when COVID hit, it was get a device in everyone's hand. And so here goes a whole lot of new Chromebooks real fast. And one of the things I started looking at is how am I going to sustain this? Because you guys know the adage, if you give somebody something, you can't ever take it away. So how do I sustain this?
Yeah.
And talking to some other school districts throughout the country, I I don't even remember where I heard it right now, but one of the things that we've adopted is we do Chromebook replacements in kindergarten, 3rd, 6th, and 9th grade every year.
Okay.
So, your kindergarten year, you've got a Chromebook. That is your Chromebook until you go to 3rd grade and you get another one. When you go to the 6th grade, you get a new one. And 9th grade, you get a new one.
Okay.
And that we're on year 2 of that actual rotation right now. So far, it's working beautifully.
And then you mentioned something with your seniors. So how?
Yeah, so this is something we actually started this year for the first time. We gave our seniors an option to do you can keep your Chromebook at the end of your senior year if you want and walk out with it.
Nice.
So every year our students pay a technology use fee of $10 or $20. I think we've changed it. I don't remember what it is right now, but we do a technology use fee every year. So we actually changed our board surplus policy that we can surplus our Chromebooks or devices and then allow staff and students to buy them out. And so we do that for our seniors. We allow that technology use fee to cover that, and they can take their Chromebook with them when they go to college or home or trade school or whatever they're doing. They can take that Chromebook with them and use it for the life of the Chromebook.
That's awesome. And did you start that program, or was that something that the district had come to you with?
No, it's something I started, actually. I saw it somewhere. I don't remember where. I heard it on a podcast or something I was watching, and I brought that back.
Mark? I was definitely not me.
So it was something I brought back to the board, and we mulled it over for about a year and just said, is this something we really want to do? You have a tendency when you sell a device to someone you still own it, even if you don't want to own it kind of thing. And so it's like, do we really want to go down this avenue? But I think we had 75% of our seniors took us up on that.
That's great.
Awesome. So
and they probably take care of the device a whole lot more if they know that they've got to live with it afterwards.
Absolutely. And that's another part of our replacement cycle. So I don't know if y'all caught this a second ago. Even in kindergarten, in kindergarten, Rusty's Chromebook is assigned to Rusty. Even if it's in a cart in the classroom, Rusty's Chromebook is Rusty's Chromebook. That is his responsibility. So if Rusty peels a key off his Chromebook and it's not a critical key that's needed for testing or whatever, you're stuck with a broken key. And so that gives everybody that, hey, I need to take care of my device because this is my device. And it's my device until they give me a new one.
That's great. It's great. I think everybody's trying to find this solution to managing the large number of Chromebooks and breaks and repairs and those kinds of things. And that's an interesting solution to see. If you can get away with that within your district, that's a great way for kids to take care of the device.
Yeah, and it has, obviously we still have a lot of breakage and you get some kids that don't care, but I would say in a whole between the technology use fee, which is a buy-in.
Yep.
And this is your device, which is a buy-in. Mm-hmm. I do feel like our devices are better taken care of than they would have otherwise been.
Nice. And do you have situations where if a family has a hardship that you're able to support them? Or
Absolutely.
You do. Okay.
So, and I'll throw that out there. What we did is we've given the principals at each school the ability to waive that fee on a by scenario basis. So that is and that takes it out of my department, takes it out of the technology department's hands. That is a school administrative decision. No one at the board office can make that decision. If someone needs that fee waived, you need, as a parent, you go talk to the principal.
That's awesome.
All right, switching gears, you talked about, before we hit the record button, something with cybersecurity and something with your board. Would you unpack that a little bit?
Sure. So in the state of Georgia, you are permitted to talk cybersecurity in executive session. And so a couple years ago, as we were starting to turn on things like multi-factor authentication, which all of your users absolutely love and adore, and you get, so much kudos for protecting everybody with MFA, we started having quarterly meetings with our board in executive session and just kind of going over some of our security plans and, hey, here's where we feel like we need to do some work. Here's some things that we want to bring on to help with that. But in the state of Georgia, you can talk all cybersecurity in executive session. So we've been fostering that relationship with the board to have those candid conversations in executive session, things that need to be changed, things that aren't necessarily going to cost money but possibly hurt feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have those conversations, they know what's going on, because inevitably somebody's going to call somebody that's going to ruffle somebody's feathers, even trying to do the right thing. And that's been a game changer for us. I've got a very supportive board since we've been able to do that. And
That's awesome.
Something I'm very proud of.
So if you're out there listening and you're struggling to talk about cybersecurity with your board, just know the entire state of Georgia at the state level has set the expectation that it's an executive session thing. Which is great.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to spill all their cybersecurity details in open session that's recorded and put on the internet. So keep that in mind. Talk to your superintendent, talk to your cabinet teams, see if that's something you can schedule. At minimum, I recommend once a year. Get in front of them and just show them, hey, this is what we're dealing with. With zero expectation on number one, just, hey, I want to show you, I want you to be aware of. And then what we did, and this is where the quarterly thing came out, I looked at all the board members in executive session and I said, hey, every one of y'all have expressed that you were happy to get this information today. How often would you like to be updated? And I honestly expected, a little bit more than quarterly, but one of the board members spoke up and they're like, I'd like to see it quarterly. And so from then on out, it's been a quarterly update. And sometimes I go in there and just say, hey, we're well on our way. And sometimes we go in there and I'm just scratching my head saying, hey, another school system was hacked recently. And this is, I keep spouting the if. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and how are we going to react?
Yeah. Great.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Rusty. I hope you enjoy the conference. And send some more of your friends this way.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Josh, I have roped in Roman Gaddis, the GAMEIS president.
I had a conversation with Roman this morning.
He's a big deal here.
I don't know about that.
He stays humble. That's what they said he was going to say. Roman, would you talk a little bit about yourself? I know you're with Dawson County. Would you talk about yourself and how long you've been at that school, and just a little bit about that school, too?
Yeah, so Dawson County Schools is about an hour north of Atlanta. It's in Dawsonville. So if you follow NASCAR, that's the home of Chase Elliott and Bill Elliott. That's kind of how most people recognize Dawson County.
Do you follow NASCAR?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a big NASCAR.
I know, like Dawson's Creek from the
not the same. Not the same.
I will say, we went out to Tybee Island, and that picturesque landscape reminded me of Dawson's Creek.
Right.
Like driving over the bridge. And
Well, Dawson County is not like Dawson's Creek. Yeah. I can, there's some rolling hills and some, waterfalls and things like that, but not
Dawson's Creek.
Not Dawson's Creek. No.
Okay. Anyway, how many kids, how many staff kind of thing?
We have about 4,400 kids. We're sitting probably, about 270 more kids than we were a year ago. So
Wow.
we're having pretty significant growth in our area, just kind of where we're located north of Atlanta.
And then how long have you been at your school district?
I've been there 10 years in this role, in the tech director role. And we have probably close to about 650 staff members, teachers and staff.
Oh, wow.
So Josh, Roman said two things that stuck out to me before we hit the record button. One, he is a ransomware survivor.
Oh.
Yeah.
And two, he is a Power School survivor.
Yep.
So there should be some kind of badge.
How much, you got a beard here. Like, you're pretty gray.
I don't have any hair, though. That may be why. I had hair when I started this job.
Yeah, I used to. My hair was jet black. No.
Yeah.
Wow. So at your current district or a different district?
Current district, yeah.
Whoa.
So we were hit, I can tell you exactly, April 30th, 2024 is the date we were hit. I was taking my mother to visit assisted living facilities and got a notice that something had happened.
Oh, my gosh.
And we were in the middle of state testing.
Oh.
He wins.
Yeah.
That's a bad scenario.
Yeah.
How long were you down?
Total network was down for 3 days.
Okay.
And then we brought things systematically back online. We brought phones back up online pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Intercoms pretty quickly.
Okay.
Since most of our, all of our students use iPads, we were able to get those back online pretty quickly for testing.
Nice.
So that was helpful.
Okay.
So, and it was toward the end of school, so we kind of just
rolled with it
and then re-imaged everything and
burn it all down.
Yeah.
How many days were you out of school?
None.
Awesome.
Probably because our superintendent said we're not missing school.
Okay.
I mean, she just made that decision very quickly early on. We had done a tabletop exercise about a week prior to this
No
event.
kidding.
Yeah. So we have a monthly leadership meeting.
Yeah.
And at that meeting is all of district directors, principals, assistant principals. And so I had conducted a tabletop exercise that was a surprise. Nobody knew I was going to do it.
Oh, cool.
Other than the superintendent.
So you come in running in the room, network's down.
Well, no, what I did is, got to my part in the leadership meeting and I was going through my slides that I normally do. And then I was like, I kind of made all this up. I was like, CISA has issued this warning last week and this is happening.
Yeah.
And need to be careful and, need to be aware. And everybody's kind of like looking at me, they kind of stop doing their work because that's what most people do. in leadership meetings, right. They just do their own
responding to emails. Yeah.
And then so I said, oh, and by the way, somebody got an email from this email address and clicked on it and their computer locked up. And then they're like, what? So then I was like, well, this is not real.
Yeah.
And so then I said, what we need to decide is what we're going to do. And I said, we're going to have conversations at the table and I have some questions I'm going to ask you. And, we've decided in my scenario, I said, we decided we were going to skip school for a day until we figure everything out. And then when we come back, I was like, you have to decide how you're going to operate school with no network.
Yeah.
And so principals were immediately, oh, we'll just print worksheets. And
no.
I was like, no, you won't. And they're like, what? No, you can't print.
Right.
And so that began a whole conversation, which really had raised an awareness
Sure. Yeah.
among the team about how do we feed kids?
Right.
How do we track those meals?
Yep.
How do we do announcements? How do we make phone calls?
Parent pickup.
How do we do parent pickup? How do we route the buses? Like all that stuff. How do we do payroll? Most important thing.
Absolutely.
Not the most, well, it is important. But everybody needs to be paid.
Well, it's always that conversation. Beginning of the year, we always have that. There's a common phrase: get them there, get them fed, get them home.
Yep.
And when you're in an emergency like that, that's really what your focus probably was, right? Like, that's what you're focusing on.
And I get this, call that this is happening, and so I rush back to my office and I text while driving, which is probably not a good thing to do. But you're
going to get a ticket in the mail from Highway Patrol.
But I text the entire cabinet and I said, I need everybody in because our technology department's in a different building. I said, I need everybody on this message to be in my building in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And so everybody came, and then we had a whiteboard, and we just started writing on the board what was important, what needed to be done, what had to be done, and we just had run payroll. So I asked the finance director, I said, what's the last possible date that you can run payroll and us be paid in May?
Yeah.
And she told me that date, and I wrote that date on the board and circled it, and I said, okay, we're working towards that.
Yeah. At least for your financial systems.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got through it.
Yeah. So luckily, we had some encrypted workstations, and there was no infiltration or exfiltration of data that we could find.
Did they get any servers?
They did get in servers. They got basically our usernames and passwords in our Active Directories. So
interesting.
So we had to do a mass
reset
of
which
all
is
that.
painful.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did couple more questions. Did you engage federal partners like CISA or anybody like that?
I called GEMA, which is Georgia's emergency management. So, and then I got a call from the FBI, but
interesting.
They didn't really.
Yeah, they're not going to be boots on the ground.
Yeah.
If they've got a decryption key or anything. Yeah. Did you engage cyber insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
We did.
Did they tell you not to talk to anybody else?
They kind of advised us not to. Well, cyber insurance basically hired a privacy attorney, and we talked to that privacy attorney, and every message that we wrote had to be vetted by the privacy
Wow.
attorney. Like whatever we
send to parents or public,
they had to. Okay, and they would change some wording a little bit here and there.
Interesting. Do you know how it happened?
Yes. We were victim of exploit on our firewall, Palo Alto 0-day.
Ooh, you just left Palo.
I did.
Wow. Ugh.
Well, let's try to transition.
Yeah, let's talk about Seedle. Talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I can't do that.
What are you doing?
I was trying to do applause. No?
There.
Hey, good job on that ransomware.
Wait, we also have. Wait. Oh, no, not that one.
Oh, Palo Alto.
So, Seedle, you guys are doing something really cool here at GAMEIS with Seedle Cert and Seedle training. Tell us what you're doing.
So last year,
That was a hard transition.
It was. We needed to get out of the bad news. Yeah, we needed to move.
last year the GAMEIS board, which we have about 9 folks on our board that serve in tech director roles around the state, and we made a intentional effort that we want to get more people in Georgia certified to be Seedle certified.
Yeah.
So we contacted Coast and we were like, what would this look like to get 20 people trained and certified? And it was a little more expensive than I thought. And I was like, well, what would it be for 10? And we didn't know how much interest we would have in it. So the GAMEIS board, we worked with Coast and we paid for it last year. We got a sponsor for a portion of it. So basically on Tuesday, we picked 10 people. They apply. We pick. We don't necessarily take first come, first serve now because it's going to get more popular.
Absolutely.
So we have to kind of have a vetting process for that. And they come here and they do basically a boot camp for the training, and then they agree to do the modules following the conference. And the goal is we have another conference in Georgia in the fall in November, and the goal is that they'll test at that conference and we cover the cost, we cover the test, we do all that. So they get a code.
Awesome.
They get a code to test.
Well, love it.
So
love
this year we had 10 more. Well, last year we had 10 people. We had 2 people get certified. I think we have some testing this week here. And so we may have a few more, and we have 10 more people in our cohort. So hopefully in the fall we'll have some more Seedle certified people in Georgia.
That's awesome.
And we'll continue to grow it. And now from the conference standpoint, we have a educational sponsorship where people can, if they want to do a sponsorship enhancement, or they want to, a vendor wants to come to GAMEIS but doesn't want a booth.
Oh yeah.
Then all right, you become an educational sponsor and you can come and you can walk the conference floor, but you're going to contribute.
That's a cool idea.
Yep.
I love it.
Very cool. Well, we were excited for GAMEIS to ask us to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here.
We are the least professional podcast that you could bring in. We got to do a little bit of a presentation.
I mean,
you think we're okay?
We're the best. We're the best podcast that could be brought in.
Absolutely.
And I think we nailed our session this morning. We finished with 1 minute left, which was beautiful.
Well, I heard good things about it. People were
good.
People were talking
not to
about
make it about us.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're happy to be here. The weather is beautiful. Besides these rain clouds, the
thunder, the boats going. I still am just loving the boats going up and down the river, 200 feet from us.
It's pretty wild to be on the Savannah River and see that kind of happening.
And good food, good shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
And in closing, tell us really quick about how many techs are here, or how many attendees do you have, and vendors, that kind of thing.
So we have about 350 district attendees, and those are made up of some network admins, mostly tech directors, but most of the people that attend this conference have decision making power or buying power. Vendors, I think counting vendors and district attendees, there's about 800 people here at the conference. I think we have close to 200 vendors that are here. And so, they pay their sponsorship, and that's what allows us to do the things we do. And we've grown quite a bit as a conference in the last 9 years.
Amazing. Well, you're doing great things here. Sounds like Georgia has some good things cooking for it as well.
Yeah, we didn't mean for this to be a ransomware interview, but we lucked out. That's good.
We did it.
Good stuff. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We are at the GAMEIS Conference. I'm hanging out with Josh from ChromebookParts.com. Josh, how's it going?
Going great.
I was walking the vendor area and saw your booth. Stopped by to say hi. We are proud that ChromebookParts.com is a sponsor of K12 Tech Pro and the K12 Tech Talk podcast. And tell us what you do. And I think what you do is in the name of the company.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly it. I work specifically on the parts side of the house.
Okay.
So, but more broadly speaking, we sell parts of Chromebooks to schools mostly and the resellers that serve them. But we also offer repair services, full units, and we're doing ITAD or asset disposal as well.
Awesome. And just to get the word out, really. So if you're a K12 Tech Pro member, if you listen to this thing, if you reach out to ChromebookParts.com, mention us and ask for the K12 Tech Pro pricing, and they'll hook you up with a special quote. So I'm told.
Yes, that's exactly right.
All right, cool. And you guys are going to be at Midwest Tech Talk too. I don't think it's you that's going to be there, but we're excited about Midwest Tech Talk that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's. I believe my coworker Justin's going to be there. He's a great guy, and he's looking forward to it.
Okay. Is there anything else? If we want to get a hold of ChromebookParts.com, we just go to that website and someone's going to hook us up?
Yep, that's exactly it. You'll be able to find on our page exactly which part of the country you're from, and then which rep you should be reaching out to.
Awesome. I've been using ChromebookParts.com at my school for, I guess, over 10 years, and we've had some great success. So.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it.
Cool. Well, good seeing you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
All right, we're here with Craig Dinn, who is the chairperson of the GAMEIS Conference.
Right, I'm the treasurer right now for the GAMEIS Conference.
Okay. Tell us about the GAMEIS Conference and the history of it and how we got to this beautiful location here in Savannah.
So the GAMEIS Conference has been around for about 42 years. It started off really small at a hotel in Macon, really, and then it's moved down to Savannah. We've grown from about 30 members to close to about 350, 400 members. It's a smaller conference. Our vendors basically support the conference for us. It's been a great place. One of the nice things about GAMEIS, I think one of the reasons why it's supported so well, at least in the state of Georgia, is because most of the people that come to this district or come to this conference, are the decision makers. Mm-hmm. So you've got your directors, your CIOs, you have your network engineers, network admins, all those people that really are the ones who get to make the decisions for their districts. I bring 5 people every year, and we all come with initiatives that we're looking to do.
And there's safety in numbers when you're doing that. Your network admins can go seek out other network admins, and they can collaborate together, and you get that kind of whole of state picture. Everybody's kind of fighting the same fires. Everybody's got the same issues top of mind. What would you say some of the top issues or top thoughts coming into this conference are for people?
Well, for ours, obviously, we're looking at, content filtering. AI is big right now. Cybersecurity, obviously, is a topic that's top of the list for everybody. How are we protecting our districts? How are we protecting our networks? And it's nice to be able to sit down with other directors. Some of the directors actually have like a cybersecurity person in their district.
Oh, wow.
And most of our districts don't have that. So, how it works with school systems, that network admin, not only does he keep up with all of the Active Directory or the Google lists, but they also, filter all the emails, and they do all the other things that are with it. They're now responsible for cybersecurity. So it's nice to be able to sit down with other districts. In fact, on Wednesdays, in the beginning of the conference, usually the first 4 hours are professional development that are actually put on by district-led discussions about how they're doing things in their district. So how are you handling cybersecurity? How are you handling content filtering? How are you handling your email filtering? Different things like that. And it's actually being led by the districts who are using different products, so we can come and hear what they're doing.
Kind of best practices.
And it kind of helps us out. And then we can walk onto the vendor floor and talk to those vendors about their products and they tell us, hey, this is what we can do. It's really not a hard sell by most of the vendors here. We know everybody, and they know us, and they know that, like I said, most of us are the decision makers, so they're going to, give us some good products.
Well, you can see that reflected in the vendor showcase floor. It's probably the biggest and most engaging vendor showcase I've seen at a state conference. We walked in and we're just floored by how big the event is here, how big the vendor showcase is, and it's also super engaging. You've got headshots. You've got people can get a headshot photo.
Throw plates,
massage. Yeah, you can throw plates and break stuff. You can get a massage over there. It's really, really impressive what's happened. I think that also reflects that people know the decision makers are here at this conference.
Question: can you give us an idea of how districts in Georgia are set up? Like we've talked to several people, and it seems like districts are county-wide districts.
Right. So Georgia's set up in counties. So like I work with Newton County. We're 23, 24 schools inside our district. We have about 19,000 students in our district. We're the 23rd largest district. I think it's 23rd, 24th largest district in the state of Georgia. There are obviously some that are 100,000 students when at Atlanta Public Schools. But then we go all the way down. I was talking to one director at the golf tournament. He has 500 students in his district.
Wow.
So, I mean, the nice thing is that this district, or this conference, spans all of that.
Yeah.
Right? And there's somebody here. Yeah. There's something here for everybody.
Yeah.
And in fact, Friday, one of our last sessions, Friday mornings, we call it Birds of a Feather. And you get to sit down with your districts. So we have like 4 or 5 different breakout rooms.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
It's a neat thing because like we broke it down to like 0 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 20, 25, whatever. And then you can come and sit with directors and sit with the people that are in your school district size, and you can just pretty much we round table and just talk about things that are going on in your district.
Sure, because we've said this. That one of the common themes is everybody's fighting the same problem. However, the way smaller districts approach that problem and the way larger districts approach that problem sometimes are different methods and different avenues. So I love that idea because then you have those smaller districts. Maybe can't afford a full-time cyber guy or can't afford a whiz-bang product. They've got to do it a different way. And having those conversations really helps out.
Yeah.
Well, it helps us too. Like I said, I like to I like to meet the other districts or the other directors that are on my school size. So I know, hey, what are you using for this? Or how are you handling this situation? We've run across like one of the new things that's coming up this year. Obviously it's hitting national is the cell phone laws are saying, hey, so Georgia's, I believe, is selected K through 8 after 26 will not be allowed to have cell phones in the schools. So what are you doing with that, right?
Okay.
Are you buying little pouches that lock?
Right.
Are you not buying the pouches that lock? Are you just telling the kids not to bring them? What are districts your size doing? Because, our budgets are similar size.
Yes. So that's not this year.
No, it starts 26. For us, it'll be August 26th.
Interesting. Okay. Missouri the governor signed it yesterday, and it goes into effect in a month, like first day of school this year.
Yeah, I think we have 1 year. I believe it's like August 26th. Our school year starts August, so that'll be the start for us.
Interesting.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Greg. This has been fantastic. It's a great conference. We're really glad to be here, and we've had this beautiful view of watching every giant shipping container go by us.
Love it
all morning. This is, I think, the best location for a conference we've ever been to, and we love it. It's great down here.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, and Savannah's a great place. This is why we like it here, and it's almost like one of the nice things also about GAMEIS is it's a family conference. We all bring our families.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like my wife and my daughter are here. My daughter helped, hand out badges and things like that. It's a fun
awesome.
time for everybody.
Yeah, that's cool.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Right.
I'm here with Clint Winter and Holly Sisk. Did I say those names correctly?
Correct.
Very correctly.
And then we're gonna unpack an acronym together. It's GAETC. Did I get that right?
Yes.
100%.
Okay, so I guess Clint, we'll start with you. Would you introduce yourself, who you are, what school district you're with, that
Sure.
kind of thing?
My name's Clint Winter. I'm the technology director for the Elbert County School District in Elberton, Georgia. And this is my second time being at GAMEIS.
Awesome.
Learning a lot.
Holly, what about you?
My name's Holly Sisk. I am the Assistant Coordinator of Instructional Technology for Effingham County Schools. And this is my first time at GAMEIS. So
Awesome.
Super excited.
This is our first time at GAMEIS as well. And leading up to this, we kept laughing on the podcast because I was calling it like GAMEIS and GAMEIS. And I finally got it right with GAMEIS.
I think I heard y'all on the podcast and I was like, oh, they don't know.
I emailed, and then you know how email text translation can go. I was like, I think I'm reading it right because they gave some pronunciation. So then we were saying game is for a while.
Right.
So we got GAMEIS.
GAMEIS.
But you guys primarily work with the GAETC, and that is an event. That's a conference. So
yes.
Would you talk about that for a little bit?
So GATC is a conference that is our Georgia Educational Technology Conference held in the first week in November, usually in Atlanta. And teachers, media specialists, administrators, technology officers, everybody kind of comes to that and learns all new instructional technology things. now we have more technical sessions as well. We're trying to kind of bridge that gap between GAMEIS and GATC. So, it's a great event. Probably about close to 3,000 people attend each year. And Wednesday through Friday, November 5th through 7th.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Awesome. And earlier we were talking to Roman Gaddis, and he was talking about the CETL stuff that was happening with GAMEIS. And then I'm learning that there's some extension to that with GAETC. Would you talk about that?
So they can take the course here, and I think Amy Dimon is the contact for that. And then they have the opportunity to actually take the exam several months later in November at GATC.
I believe it's that Tuesday, right?
That Tuesday before the conference.
Tuesday before the conference.
Yep.
It's a pretty big deal. I mean, it's a pretty intense exam.
And for what I hear, there's like a wait list to get in the cohort and things like that. So, definitely.
It's a very cool thing that Georgia's doing that these organizations are doing that. So I'm from Missouri, and there's just a handful of folks that have taken that. So for an organization to get behind it, to even help pay for it, from what I understand, and to give a space for it to take place, kudos to you guys for doing that. So Clint, you are tech director, and Holly, you are instructional tech. So let's have a quick conversation about why should techs have anything to do with a relationship with an instructional tech. Would you just touch on that maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. So in a previous life, I was in Holly's job.
Okay.
So it's so important for the tech director and instructional technology to work together because, one, we got to move kids forward, right? And we got to make sure that when we do that, we do it safely and we have all of that. It was hard back in the day. I know we all have, and sometimes we have like, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. We're not opening this up. So working together with instructional technology, we can have a really good game plan and understand why. I think it all goes back to answering that question, like why, what problem are we trying to solve, and why do we need to open up AI, or why do we need to do something like that? So I think that's why it's important. Holly, what are your thoughts?
I think hearing from the teachers when they say, oh, I need this new tool because it does this, we go through this whole app vetting process, but I'm kind of that bridge between the instructional side and then the technology side. Okay, is it safe? Is it protecting student data? I think of all the questions to ask our tech directors and tech department, like, okay, can we move forward on this, or is this something I just need to go back to the teachers and say, no, we need to come up with a different game plan?
Yeah. Both sides are for the good of the cause.
Correct.
And both sides should be for the students.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes there just need to be some good communication there.
Right. And I think that's one thing. I just started this role in December, and I'm really kind of that communicator between the two parties. It's almost like I'm a separate little department, but not really. And then I work a lot with curriculum instruction to also vet those apps that, teachers want.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much.
Enjoyed it.
All right, we're here with Logan Evans from Coffee County Schools, Georgia. Where is Coffee County Schools?
We're in the south part of the state. We're about an hour north of Valdosta.
And how big is your district?
There are about 7,500 students.
Okay.
One high school, two high school options, one's non-traditional.
Okay.
And got one of the largest middle schools built in the state a few years back. And if you remember anything about Hurricane Helene, that one hit us pretty hard. We were out of school for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was true natural disaster.
And how is the coffee in Coffee County?
Well, that depends on where you go, but I find it to be it's brewing strong in Coffee County.
We were just talking ahead of time about, I'd say, every tech director's worst fear is you got called to your board to speak about artificial intelligence.
That's true.
Your school board wants to know what's going on with this AI stuff.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about how you prepared for that presentation. What are the main talking points? And honestly, what is a board perspective on artificial intelligence?
Yeah, our board is five members strong and not from the tech generation. And so had some, real questions about even what is the technology just in its most basic format, and then how it could be used in education. So from the perspective of, from the school system, how are we going to use, or how are we using AI, and what are we going to do with it, and what do we see be a great tool for teachers? And
do you feel that they came with a perspective of fear or optimism?
Just general questions. Some were more concerned about spending money on something they didn't understand, and others maybe had heard that, some of the news scroll articles about the dangers of AI, or, just not understand, or maybe they just heard all that people do with AI is cheat, writing term papers, and so had concerns about how student use wouldn't align with good education practices. But I needed to give them a base layer to help make a decision on, because we had a purchase coming up later in that same meeting. So that's the impetus of this conversation was we're about to spend a ton of money. We're about to spend money.
What is this thing?
Yeah. And I even got the quote, well, it sounds real good. Doesn't mean we have to buy anything. And I was like, well, that's an interesting perspective. But if you look at it in this light, I think you might have a different opinion on whether we should spend money on something. And so I always try to focus on the economics and return on investment, implementation. And if we do things right, then it's going to be a great purchase. If we do things wrong, it's going to be a big waste of money. Yeah. So that's always that financial efficiency is something I always keep in mind as a tech director. Is I guess these numbers are dollars, and dollars aren't just numbers. And we, in the current climate, we've got a lot of money drying up. We got things happen federally. There's some uncertainty, and we're even coming in with a budget shortfall, and so deciding to spend another several tens of $1,000s on a product when we're trying to cut.
Wow.
It's a tough conversation, and you have to be, have the right information to convince, people that it's a good idea. And so, and so that's what we did. We just did a basic talk about AI. I brought up, something they might all remember about when Watson won Jeopardy, but how Watson wasn't necessarily good outside of Jeopardy for what they first applied it for, and so had to really go back and train the model, and now he works in healthcare, finance, and customer service. So there's applications all over the place.
So your presentation went on. You kind of gave them an overview of AI. What specific questions, did your board start asking you?
Well, one of the ones was about ChatGPT, and so we actually went into a live prompting, because I was trying to talk about how prompting is so important, and we have to teach people to prompt in the right way to get the output they want. And so I gave them an example of 2 different ways a teacher could prompt to build a lesson plan, and one was basic, but one got very, very specific. But I then asked the board, well, does anybody like to prompt GPT in live mode and just see what happens? And one of the board members, he loves to fish over at Lake Eufaula. He said, well, can it tell me about what baits I need to use at Lake Eufaula? And I was like, I don't know. Let's see. And sure enough, we developed a prompt about, the different baits that you might use. And within seconds, started putting out the different type of fish targets and the best baits, and just ran down a list of all the major fish targets you might find at Eufaula and the best baits to use for them in the springtime, not just any time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I thought, the secondary, I was like, well, what about the different baits you might use in bass fishing at different times of day? And so it started listing the different types of baits and where you might find the fish, whether they be under docks or in tall grass, and the different baits you would use.
That might be the most southern ChatGPT prompt example I've ever heard, but it's fantastic. Well, so live during the board meeting too.
That says live mode, live during the board meeting. And so, but it was funny that the board member said, well, I already know all that. And I said, well, yes, sir, but we've got a bass fishing team that might not, and they're trying to win state in bass fishing. So
you have a bass fishing high school team?
Oh yeah. No, it's all the rage. Bass fishing. Yeah, bass fishing blew up all over the state. It's a big deal. You got to have a bass boat. They go to these big tournaments all around the state.
Duh, Mark.
Yeah, I'm up in Boston, and bass fishing. People like to fish, but I've never heard of a bass fishing high school team.
Well, how much weirder is it than esports?
I don't disagree.
Yeah. So, there's even a bass fishing museum up around Perry, Georgia, where you can go and learn about, the history of bass fishing and how to become better at it. And if you hit the world record bass, you could win $1 million. It's a story of a couple years ago about a guy who might have caught that fish, but he said, nah, I was hungry. Oh, you ate that, Joker.
So before we go too far off the ledge with this interview, we buried the lead here. So you did an AI presentation for your board, and right before they're about to vote on a $30,000 AI tool purchase.
Right.
How did the vote go?
Oh, well, I don't want to jump too far ahead. And so after the Bass Fishing Journal we set up in GPT, I decided, I was like, I gave it a little insight from my classroom experience. I taught science. So after a good environmental science lesson, we always did paintings or poetry to kind of cement those ideas home. So I had the GPT write a haiku about bass fishing, and man, it really hit home, and so, but jumped in from that and talked a little bit about how, Richard Collada, he was director of Ed Tech under Obama. He gave us an idea, and I'll show you this picture here about, you have students that do this writing about a futuristic city. And so, you want to do an art project with that, but, they're like 8 years old, might not be able to paint and draw that well, and it could take tons of time, but you could throw the student writing into generative AI, and it'll build that image for them in just seconds. And so you don't waste a lot of time on something that might not be the best product, but everybody gets to see what their writing can turn into, and that's very cool. Really valuable. And so from there, we talked about Magic School and how it's AI with training wheels, and we talked a little bit about a product we purchased called Thought Exchange that lets us take all this feedback, and then there's an AI built in that helps to summarize. And so think about the process of strategic planning and how challenging it can be to take all the information you've gathered from 100 stakeholders, bundle that into some actionable information. Whereas you do the same process with the AI, it takes all this information and bundles it up and writes executive summaries and does SWOT analysis and gives you next steps and ways you might progress. And so the way AI is being used currently and in our education system is for not just on the educational, we've really been using it on the business side and security side more than anything. But so that jumped right into a purchase request for Magic School. I'd like to give a shout out to Gwinnett County, who did a monster vetting process on all the AI tools they were looking at, and that's the one they ended up purchasing. So we felt like we'd follow one of the big dogs, and we can trust Gwinnett.
Great.
And so that's the way we went, and the vote went well. We added to the consent agenda, and there was really no other questions.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So that worked out. But one of the things that I did do, so timely, your news scroll comes up. I pulled up this Gallup poll about the frequency of AI use in education, and then the impact. And so the big things that this poll found out is that the most common tasks were that teachers are using AI to prepare lessons and make learning objects. It's not that the AI is teaching the kids or doing any of their work for them. It's just helping them on that lesson planning and lesson development. And then the impact in this poll, if we can trust it, it's that the teachers report the AI is doing just as good a job or a better job at those same tasks than they were doing. So the point I tried to drive home was, I could understand not looking at a product if it can't do at least as good a job.
Yeah.
But if it can do the same quality work and better at times, then that makes a lot of sense. And then the amount of time it saves a teacher to help combat burnout. But that return on investment is big for me. So the teacher can save 20% of her work month, then that equates to dollars and cents in return on investment.
That's great. Well, congratulations, and good luck with your upcoming
bass tournament.
Bass tournament, bass
No,
fishing, and AI
I
usage.
didn't make the team. I've got some kids coming up who might try, but I've got to sort out a bass boat to be on the team, or find a captain who does.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your conversation about AI and bass fishing.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Anytime. Thank you, guys.
So, Chris, we kind of found a celebrity.
He's a big deal.
Yeah.
In very small circles.
I wouldn't say small circles. I'd say what's so we're just going to call you by the name that
Walt.
No. You're not Walt. No.
This is Geekender.
This is Geekender. And if you're on K12sysadmin, you might know that name as the moderator, the guy who started K12sysadmin. Chris?
The vendors are not real happy with me there.
Oh, really?
No.
Vendors and middle schoolers, they're trouble on that place.
Oh man, that was the weird. That I was telling somebody that story the other day. The middle schooler story that they contacted the Shimmer stuff. They contacted us. Yeah.
So Geekender, we're excited to meet you in person.
Well, here's it filled a gap for me at the time.
Yep.
I think it continues to fill the gap for new folks getting into the industry.
Sure.
Especially, I mean, not just, I mean, K-12 obviously, but I think a lot of the issues in K-12 are dealt with across the board through a lot of industries. So, I mean, I do think that it's beneficial.
It's one of those things that when you do a specific Google search about an error message or a product or a problem you're having, one of the top 10 hits is going to be a Reddit post.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, when I'm doing the searching on a product error, it comes back to K12sysadmin post from that subreddit.
And it's, but the real heroes are the people that are willing to get on there.
Sure.
And explain something to somebody, or ask the questions that this person that's asking the question at that point may not be thinking of. Because,
right.
You may not have the backstory. I mean, that's why they're asking the question.
Well, and sometimes not know how to ask the question appropriately. In the right manner, in the right process, that kind of thing. So, yeah, in the early days, that forum being able to take those nebulous problems, kind of what IT people do anyway. Yep. And assist in a resolution. It's cool.
It helped me tremendously.
Sure.
I've talked to people that say they appreciate. I've talked to people that say they don't use it, don't know what it is. That's fine too. I mean, it's
we have people that say that about the podcast too. We don't listen. Well, get out of here.
But it's the same as this conference, the same as GAMEIS. There's community here.
Yeah.
K12sysadmin has a great community. Like you just mentioned, the folks that will post and that will comment with the mindset of I'm going to help my colleague that I don't know, that I only know their username.
Yeah.
Not even associating it with a person, with a school district. Those are great people that are posting there.
And I will also just say, I appreciate you guys, your people, and the work that you've done to help out and keep that forum working and up.
Thank you.
In times that I have not been able to.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, you said you have a busy afternoon. We don't want to keep you very long. You go get stuff done. You got one more comment?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Any closing thoughts on this meeting a celebrity?
We took a picture together. I don't know if we can reveal Geekender's face.
We might have to blur his face.
The thing is, once you work as a tech director, your face and name are plastered.
Yes.
I mean, it's not and it's not a secret. It's not like a security thing that people are able to tie it to a username. But you're a moderator of a forum.
Yeah.
Not many people out there, get that guy.
You never know. He
downvoted my post.
Again.
And that was the printer.
You marked it as spam again.
Well, Geekender, thanks for spending time with us today. We hope you have a really good rest of the conference and enjoy this beautiful scenery here in Savannah.
Y'all have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are having a great time at the GAMEIS Conference here in Savannah, Georgia, and it's thanks to our sponsors and GAMEIS for bringing us here. But a quick shout out to NTP, Powergistics, Lightspeed, Managed Methods, Visor, and Fortinet. They make these episodes possible. We're going to see them at Midwest Tech Talk in a couple of weeks as well. But thank you to our sponsors. Check them out. We'll put links in the podcast description to them.
Man, what a conference.
This is a really good one. Good.
We've seen things. We've had things happen that we have never seen or had happen before.
Things have happened that we can't.
Chris, you got some cannoli on your face.
What the?
Okay. Savannah, fantastic place for a conference.
Yes. But let's shift it to like October.
Yeah, it's a little hot.
It's a little hot.
Little humid, but the food is fantastic.
Yes.
The people are so nice.
Hence the cannoli on my lips.
Hence the cannoli on Chris's face.
The people are wonderfully nice. Mark is so taken aback by how nice everyone is. We've had people come up and ask us for selfies, autographs.
People taking pictures of us now.
Right now. Super awkward.
Should we all do our Southern
No.
impersonation?
No.
Okay.
No.
Not a good idea.
No, because we want to come back next year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
We're kind of ending okay right now.
Yeah.
So GAMEIS, great conference, great people.
Great people. The board members have been super nice. Come up to us. They've. I actually ran into a lady in the elevator of my hotel this morning. She saw I was wearing the lanyard. She's like, "Oh, what do you think of the conference? Great conference, great content, awesome exhibit hall." She said, she saw I was speaker. It's the speaker on the badge. She goes, "What did you present on?" I said, "Well, I'm with the podcast. We did a presentation on the ransomware interviews that we've done." And she goes, "Oh, I heard that was a great session." So that like 7:00 in the morning, my ego is getting boosted.
Yeah, pride.
So it's been great.
But pride before the fall, right, Mark?
Yeah, then we came over here and had an incident that we can't talk about.
Why can't you talk about the mouse? Oh, we can't talk about the mouse. So there was a mouse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Crazy story. If you see us in person at Midwest Tech Talk, ask us about that story.
So we'll be together next week.
10 days, roughly.
Week and a half, yeah. See you guys
Because
soon.
you are coming to Missouri.
So if you are in the Georgia area next summer, put the GAMEIS Conference on
if
your
you are
radar.
a K-12 tech
Yes.
and you are in the state of Georgia or South Carolina.
Northern Florida, Southern South Carolina,
Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark had a tendency. He broke news at this conference. He was a news breaker at this conference this week.
My bad.
Hilariously, but apparently you influenced change. There was immediate change after what you did yesterday.
So I think we accidentally announced the state is getting rid of a particular license that they use down here, and then everybody looked at me very confused.
But now it's been extended for another year.
It's been extended. So you're welcome.
So our session broke news, and the feedback, we influenced it.
Oh my gosh, there's the pride again.
Yeah.
There he goes again.
Yeah.
Also at this conference, they do headshots.
Yes. I had my headshot done.
And Josh kept talking to us about wanting a 3-person.
Yeah, like an awkward prom photo. Yeah, you guys
And we never acknowledged
No,
that.
you totally ignored. I said it 3 times. You guys totally ignored me.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
He did take one by himself.
I did. Lonely. Yeah, like prom all over again.
Anyway, GAMEIS, great people, great content, great weather, great food, great drink.
Great audio.
Great hospitality.
Yeah.
Great views. We've had shipping container ships come down the river that we're a football field away from. Beautiful.
Very nice. Till next year?
Sure.
Or next week. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, but maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll be here back with the mice next year.
Oh my gosh, you got to beep that out too.